What's good, y'all? Welcome to a brand new discussions video for tomorrow. This time we're gonna be doing my theories and speculation for Powers of X and House of X. This is something I was actually meant to do last week, but as I've mentioned in previous a few other videos, had a bit of a bit of an impromptu road trip that was kind of planned, but my parents didn't bother telling me till about a day before what's happening. Like, oh yeah, by the way, Glenn, we are going to be traveling to Humboldt to look at the university and everything. It was overall went really well. So literally all the video I was meant to do last week, everything had to get pushed back to this week, so I'm doing it now. I'm filming this video on Tuesday, so this is before House of X issue 2 comes out, I believe, which one is going to be coming out this week. It's either that one or Powers of X issue 2. But whatever the case may be, this video has been recorded before that issue comes, so maybe some of the questions we have maybe some of the questions we have here might get answered that issue, or we might just be left with more questions than we do answers. Who knows? It's Jonathan Hickman after all, and apparently from what I've heard, nobody gets Jonathan Hickman except Jonathan Hickman. So who the fuck knows? But anyway, so let's just jump right into this. So the first major thing that a lot of people have been theorized that I agree with, that I see definitely has a chance, is that for one, this is not the Charles Xavier we've seen these two issues is not the real Charles Xavier. Is in fact the Maker. I am not, like I mentioned before, I'm not the most well versed when it comes to X-Men comics. This is really also my introduction to X-Men comics, so I'm the perfect audience I'm like the perfect audience, or at least the audience that Marvel's really trying to target is people like me who have wanted to jump into X-Men comics, but are jumping into this. So my only experience with the Maker I see is only from experience in Diane Keaton's Venom. So going off of that, I would definitely say that this definitely fits his MO. Because realistically, Charles has always been a guy that has always wanted peace for mutants. He's always wanted men and mutants to live together in harmony. Not mutants take over men like what seems like was going on in the first issue of Powers of X. Or House of X, excuse me. Or I should say Powers of 10, apparently that's the correct title. And then we got in Powers of X or Powers of 10. I think I'm just gonna call it Powers of X. We have in that one where Charles is very much we see him play at the end of the issue. We see straight up playing God where he's like created like two new he has two new humans kind of jump into this area, this little like area he has set up from the rest of in the area he is, and just watch them. He also looks like Grand Admiral Thrawn from the Star Wars EU with the blue skin and everything. This is definitely not the real Charles Xavier, because this is completely out. Because why else would he want? Why else? And when we get to X-Men year 100, it just turns into Days of Futures Past. Except instead of humans going to mutants, it's Charles and his mutants going against, I guess, the resistance of mutants. It's like the complete opposite of what happened in Days of Futures Past, or at least the roles are reversed now, or not really. It's kind of just like it's more like a civil war. That's kind of Days of Futures Past-esque, I guess. So yeah, there's that. Of course, we got we also got all people. We got the people coming out of pods, like what happened with Cyclops, which we can probably all guess that that's not the real Cyclops because of how he acted when he was with Reed. And there's definitely something going on here, man. There's definitely some weird shit going on with these. I think now we also know that Krakoa is definitely having a major influence, because we know Krakoa has created 3 drugs that pretty much has the mutants humans at their merge, because the 3 drugs, one cures all disease, the other one extends your life for 5 years, and the other is for what was the third one? Crap. I am forgetting the third one. And the other cures diseases of the mind. So, like mental illness, essentially, like Alzheimer's and shit. So, with this, we can definitely tell Krakoa is definitely one powerful island there with the drugs that it's producing. We also know that it's also created its own mutant language that only mutants understand, and that they get embedded with the thing as soon as they step foot on it. So, with all that, Krakoa could also be very well playing a big part into everything that's happening along with it. It could be pulling some strings as well. It could maybe this is indeed the real Charles Xavier, but with this new Cerebro he has on his head, maybe it's been morphing his mind to make him think more like, maybe it's kind of like whispering stuff in his ear like, kill all humans, kill them all. Kind of like what was happening in X2, what happened in X2. You remember when Stryker's kid was whispering into Charles' ear, telling kill all the humans, kill all the humans. It could very well maybe not to that extent, but something like that could very easily happen with the Cerebro. Or maybe Cerebro is how he's defending against it. I don't know. That's this thing with this story. I don't know what the fuck is happening. But then again, nobody does. And that's what makes it so interesting, is that there is definitely something going on. And then when Powers Vex, like I mentioned before, we have everything. We got that whole start from the beginning with this woman telling him, he's asking, "Who are you?" And she's like, just read my mind, Charles. And he's just like, and we don't know who is she. And but can someone please explain how Charles is walking again? Because as far as I've always known Charles Xavier, he's always been in a wheelchair. Did he suddenly regain his legs in sometime recent in the comics? Can someone please explain it? Because literally no one has talked about how Charles is suddenly walking again. Maybe this is common knowledge in the comics. I don't know. Like I mentioned, my knowledge of X-Men is exclusive to the movies. So we have that. And so then Powers Vex, we got the whole thing I mentioned before. We had that one. We had a little bit of the continuation of what was going on where we saw Power in House of X with the flash drive and everything, with Magneto grabbing himself, getting some tea, And I don't know if I mentioned before, but my God, do I love his white costume. That white costume, perfection, ladies and gentlemen. So and then I mentioned before, when we see X-Men Year 100, it's pretty much 200 Days of Future Past. We got a civil war brewing, and Charles is now in some mech suit. He takes mutants and derives them of all their if I remember correctly, because I'm trying to remember this because I read this comic last week and I haven't really gone back. I'm looking at it right now on my computer. What he did was where he will take mutants and kind of derive them of their nutrients or something, where he would put them in this device. My memory might be failing me a little bit, but something along those lines was happening when we saw when they captured some of those rebels. So we saw that. Yeah, you would put them in these you would put these in these canisters and just do God knows what. Yeah, to dissolve it down to nothing but data. So we had which is definitely very much not Charles Xavier. So, and I also don't even know, and we also don't even know why he's even in a mech suit to begin with. So we got that, of course. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but we have Wolverine coming in there, who he legit now looks like Old Man Logan at this point. And we also got Magneto, and I think an old Groot. I'm not sure. The only tree guy I know in the Marvel Universe is indeed Groot. I gotta say, but I like Magneto's green costume is actually pretty good, but I prefer his white one. He has this, and he tells he tells the rest of the True Mutants that managed to get away. He tells them the old man is waiting. We don't know now. We don't know who this old man is. If I had to guess, knowing Wolverine, I assume he's most likely talking about Charles, the real Charles Xavier, who could possibly be hiding, or maybe he could be hiding. They're trying to plot some way to finally fix this mess that this fake Charles, whether it's the Maker or it's Krakoa, creating their own X-Men through those pods, whatever it may be. Something is definitely without a doubt going on there with that. And so maybe in the next issue of House Vex, the stuff in Powers Vex will probably get exclusively done in Powers Vex. But with the House Vex stuff, I'm definitely curious if we're going to see where we're going to get more with because they also told Magneto said, that we're not going to show you Krakoa. Krakoa is only for mutants, and you can't come there. He also said that you have new gods now and all that stuff. See, that's the thing with this comic, man. There are so many questions in here that I honestly don't know. Legit, I'm literally at this point, I'm just spitballing at this point here. But this is definitely without a doubt a very, very interesting comic. So maybe Krakoa could be playing in a role here. This could very well not be the real Charles. And of course, and then I forgot to mention, and then we also had some other stuff gotten in those little text panels there, where we find out that Mr. Sinister kind of grew their own mutants, as well as a few other stuff that's happened in that since time. But then we get to Charles when it's X-Men Year 1000, and he has a no Cerebro. The dude looks like Grand Admiral Thrawn from the Star Wars EU, and then he essentially now is playing God, where we see him section up this little part of this map area, and he just has and it's a foresty area. He has two humans there, and he says, what was the exact line? As a reminder of what this world used to be like, to remember what we overcame. It is important to record the great sins of history, and even better to preserve a remnant, something to point at, and hope to God they never have dominion again. Definitely some weird shit. So Charles is now playing God, and man, this was probably one of the most shocking parts of how Powers Vex. This whole ending right here, where we see him kind of starting his own, playing God. He has Adam and Eve, so to speak, in this little area. So yeah, that's about it. Hopefully, I came off mildly coherent for you guys on my theories of House of X and Powers of X. Tell me down below what you guys thought. What are your theories? Do you think this is indeed the work of the Maker? Do you think this is all work of Krakoa? Do you think there might be a third? Also, do you think there might be another force coming in there pulling the strings? Do you think this is indeed the real Charles Xavier and he's just gone insane thanks to Krakoa? Well, who knows? Could this be could it be working with someone else? I don't know. Tell me down below, guys, what you guys think of this. What is your theories and speculations? Because I would love to have a discussion with any of you guys down in the comment section below. And with that, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter if you like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more, guys. See you next time, man. And also, guys, Absolute Carnage is dropping tomorrow. And woo! Am I excited for that? Definitely to see what's next up for House of X next week, which I believe that's the issue that's coming out next week. Anyway, guys, see you next time.